Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about the dashboard of a car. I'll be going over all of the things that you see on a car's dashboard. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I'm going to explain what you see here and some of the things that are in some other cars that this car doesn't have. Let's get right to it. So if you take a look at where your steering wheel is, you're likely going to see the dashboard. Now, towards the center console, you're probably going to find the radio and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to really be going over that stuff, like the climate control, the radio and all that stuff, because that's going to really be different with every car. But I'm going to go over the dashboard because it's going to be very, very similar. It might look different, but the function of a dashboard and the functions and features are going to be very similar with the majority of cars. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, the first thing that I want to show you is the speedometer. Now, the speedometer is what you see right over here. It is actually the thing that shows the speed of the car. So let's get a little bit closer right there. So the speedometer right over here shows the speed that the car is traveling. As you can see, this one is in kilometers per hour. In some cars, it's going to be in miles per hour. Now, this one is mainly in kilometers an hour. The small intersection is in miles per hour. On digital dashboards, with digital speedometers, you can usually change the feature between kilometers and miles, which is really convenient. So as you go faster, the car speedometer is going to increase. The next thing that I want to go over is the tachometer. The tachometer is right over here. As you can see, it says times 1,000 R/min. And what that stands for is times 1,000 revolutions per minute. So whatever number you see on that tachometer, the engine is going 1,000 times that fast. If I rev the car here to 2,000 RPMs, you see it shows a 2, but that means 2 times 1,000, which is 2,000 revolutions per minute. RPM stands for revolutions per minute. That's basically the engine speed. Now, it's going to be different from the car speed. This is how fast your wheels are turning. This is how fast the engine's components are turning. How fast, the pistons are going up and down. So as I rev the car, you can see that I'm going to rev the car, okay? The engine is going faster, but the car is not moving anywhere. I'm parked in a parking lot. So that's just an example of how they work. They can work hand in hand or separately from each other. The next thing is an engine temperature gauge. Now on this car, as you can see, it doesn't have an engine temperature gauge, but what it does have is an overheating light, which hopefully I'll show you in a moment when I get all the lights to illuminate. On my 2017 Honda CR-V, it does have an engine temperature gauge, and on my 09 Civic Si that I had in the past, it had one as well. So it all depends on the car. But an engine temperature gauge will just show you the temperature of the engine, and ideally, you're going to want it to stay around the middle of the temperature gauge. You don't want it to be too low, but you also don't want it to be too high up. Next up is the fuel gauge. This one's pretty simple, but I'll show you a little hack with the fuel gauge. On this car right here, you can see it just shows little squares right over there. That represents how much fuel is in the gas tank. You can see right now I have just over 3/4. E stands for empty, F stands for full, and if you look at the gas icon on cars, it's going to show a little arrow pointing in one direction. Check this out. That little arrow right there tells me that my gas cap is on the right side of the car because it's pointing towards the right. Little convenient feature for when you're filling up gas. It'll show you where the gas cap is located. The next thing is the trip odometer and the car's odometer. So as you can see right here, the trip odometer is on the right. It says trip A, and on this trip we have 840.3 kilometers, and this car, the entire odometer of the car is 112,088 kilometers. So the entire odometer is showing me how many kilometers have been driven on this car in total, and the trip shows me just for this trip. Now if you look, there's probably going to be a little knob that you can push to reset the trip or change it. So if I push this quickly, it switches to trip B, as you can see right there. Hopefully you can see that. But it says trip B. Now, if I want to reset trip B, all that I do is push and hold this down. And this is going to be very similar for the majority of cars. Push and hold it down, and it resets to 0.0. If I want to go back to trip A, push it in quickly, and as you can see right there. Okay, so basically that's it for what you see. You have the shifter right there, and I'll go over a whole bunch more in just a moment. You have the shifter right there. If I shift out of park, if I go into drive, it'll show drive, neutral, reverse, and if I go into manual mode, it's going to show what gear I'm in, 1, and so forth, right? 1, 2, and whatever gear I'm in, just like that. Very simple, and it's going to be very similar for the majority of cars. Automatic cars should mostly show you on the dashboard, the instrument panel, what it is. Okay, so now let's go over some other lights that you see. Okay, right over here we have the emergency brake light. If I release the emergency brake, it turns off. I crank the emergency brake, it turns on, otherwise known as a parking brake. Right here I have the seatbelt light. If I put my seatbelt on, that would turn off. Basically simple and straightforward. And now what we're gonna do, oh sorry, before I shut the car, I have to show you all of the other lights. If I push this is the dimming knob. So I can actually dim the lights and increase them right now, but I can push it once to dim it, push it once again to illuminate them up. Very simple. If I push it once to dim it, you can see that I can make my adjustments. I'm dimming it and increasing it, and then I can illuminate it. It all depends on whether it's running on daytime mode or nighttime mode. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the car off, okay? And we're going to turn the key, just not so the engine is started, but just so we can see the lights on the dashboard, and we're going to go over some of the lights, okay? So we're going to take a look right here. So you can see we have AT for automatic transmission. We have over here the steering wheel icon, okay? And we have the check engine light, the engine light over there. We have the battery light over there. We have the oil light over there. Like, so most of these lights, if you see them, you know, when you're driving, it usually means that there's a problem. If you see them now, obviously it doesn't mean that there's a problem, because these are just saying that the engine is not started, which it's not, right? So let's go ahead, we'll do that one more time, see if we can see any other ones quickly. Right over there, that's the vehicle stability light. So it's basically saying it's traction control in a nutshell. Let's see what else, if we can find any other ones really quickly when we turn it on. Over there is the airbag light right there. You can see it's a little person sitting on a seat with a circle in front of them. And if that light comes on, that means that your airbag system is non-functional. So if that light comes on, get your car checked out ASAP, because your airbags will not work in the unfortunate event of a crash. And I believe that that's probably about it. Right over there looks like that's the security light. So if I turn off the car, you'll see the light flash. It's hard to tell, but it just shows a car with a lock, and that's the security light. So it's just saying that the security is activated, basically. Very simple and straightforward. And I think that is it. And over there, I believe that's the coolant light, as you can see right over there. Let's try one more time. Just over there. And I can't say with 100% certainty that that's the coolant light, but I'm pretty sure that that red one is. And the ABS light is obviously, I don't know if I should be doing this to the car. The ABS light is obviously for your anti-lock braking system. And if, like I said, if the ABS light comes on, usually it means that the ABS system isn't functional, so get it checked out ASAP. And that's basically it. I've pretty much gone over all of the things that you see on a car dashboard. Some other lights that this car doesn't have that your car might have. It might have a volt gauge to show you the volts. It might have an amp gauge to show you the amperage. It might have an oil pressure gauge, and it might have a turbo gauge, otherwise known as a boost gauge. But it all depends on the car. But that's it. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.